Well, Donald Trump was ready to strike Iran. The targets were allegedly locked. The message had already been sent out on his Truth Social. But just hours later, everything changed. Trump dropped out another Truth Social post where he said that the planned strikes have been called off. So what happened between those two Truth Social posts? Well, Gulf nations might be the answer. According to Trump, the request to pause military action came from the leaders of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Now, these countries, who are all close American partners, appear to have delivered a clear message to Washington. Another round of strikes could push the region into a further full-scale disaster.
I was an hour away. We were all set to go. You're talking about yesterday?
Yes.
We were going to be striking it would have been happening right now. Yeah, it was all done. The boats, the ships are all loaded. They're loaded to the brim. And we were all set to start.
Mr. President,
They said that they feel they've had for the first time in almost 47 years. You know, Iran's been the bully of the Middle East for 47 years.
All right, talking about the Iran war, when Donald Trump launched the war alongside Israel on the 28th of February, he estimated that it would end in 4 to 5 weeks. The conflict is now in its third month, and Trump is caught between his dueling impulses to force Iran into submission and to declare victory and move on. The conflict has already exposed how vulnerable the Gulf really is. Iran responded to the war by targeting energy facilities, civilian infrastructure, and strategic sites across the region using missiles and drones. The closure of Hormuz added to the toll after sending global oil markets into panic. A Financial Times report last week stated that Riyadh has been discussing the idea of a non-aggression pact between Iran and other West Asian countries as part of the wider talks about what the region could look like after the end of the US-Israel war against Iran. Tehran, remember, has long argued that regional countries should handle their own security without Western intervention. But the big question remains whether Israel would be part of any such arrangement. Now, there is a chance that without Israel's participation, this happens. The plan could become counterproductive, as Gulf states now see both Iran and Israel as major sources of instability in the region. Concerns about Israel have also grown since the 7th October Hamas attack and the wars that have followed since. The UAE has been deeply shaken by the conflict. Attacks on energy facilities and even threats to the Barqa nuclear plant have hit their economic confidence hard. Tourism has fallen, real estate activity has slowed, and billions have been wiped off Gulf stock markets. The UAE says that those drones came in from Iraq. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has tried to push a broader political message. He accused the United States and Israel of using what he called divisive politics to turn Muslim countries against each other. Speaking during a meeting with Pakistan's Interior Minister, Pezeshkian claimed that these divisions were designed to weaken the Islamic world and prevent regional unity. Now, whether that message resonates across the Gulf remains unclear at the moment. For the moment, the fragile ceasefire is still holding in West Asia, but if Iran is attacked again, then it will swamp with drones and missiles in retaliation, and that will leave the Gulf Arab nations having to brace for intensified attacks on their energy infrastructure. Striking Gulf oil fields, refineries, and ports, remember, is one of the most potent ways for Iran to inflict pain on the global economy and put pressure on Trump. If the damage is major enough, countries like the UAE, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia will be caught in the crossfire once again, further deepening this war that many of the Gulf leaders are trying to avoid.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.